Yo, this is SoulDrum86 bringing you another video, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to AEW Fight Forever, man. Next Wednesday, I will be playing AEW Fight Forever on this channel. I did order the Elite Edition, so I will be getting the game on the 28th as opposed to the 29th. So I'm a happy camper. So I was really kind of thinking about making this video about some of the things. Really, it's just one of the main things that I want patched, and hopefully it's a day one patch. Evil Uno did say that there was going to be one more update before the game releases. Now I don't know if he was talking like they're going to do something. So I mean, regardless if they update it beforehand, it's still going to be a day one patch, because once the game is installed, it's going to also download and install the update. So what I'm hoping for is updated arenas. I'm hoping that we get a Collision arena, because Collision did just recently debut. I don't see why you would waste too much time before you add that brand new show into the game. There's new arenas for, Dynamite and Rampage. And then there's new rings and stuff for the pay-per-views that recently happened. I mean, like Double or Nothing looks different than what is in the game currently. And it's kind of interesting, man, because one of the things that I was thinking about in terms of this update is there was all this talk about AEW being pushed back, which I believe some of the stories, the ESRB rating. I know that took some time, them trying to get the T rating. But when the one developer came out and said that the game wasn't finished, that's starting to sound like a lie, because he was just saying that 3 months ago, and then voila, we ended up having a release date, by May, for it to release June 29th. So it was okay. That was it felt like that was just all BS when he came out and said that, oh yeah, what they think is done, it's not really in video game development world, it's not done, but it's done to them. It's it's on a completely different, scale, you know what I mean? So that had a lot of people worried, because it had a lot of people thinking that the game wasn't going to release until maybe sometime next year, maybe in the fall. But, I even kind of suspected to begin with that the game would release in the summer, and lo and behold, we got a release date for the summer. With that being said, with how long it was taking this game to release, I am a bit disappointed that all of the brand new gameplay that we have been seeing, the game is still outdated, whether it's the wrestlers' ring attire, whether it's the arenas, because AEW has had a new look for Dynamite for a long time now, you know what I mean? So you would think that it wouldn't be too much of a hassle getting brand new arenas done, because the rings, you don't have to change that much. You just have to change the apron. You do have to change the barricade, which is going to be interesting, because AEW uses a different barricade around the ring now. Before, they were using the old school NXT ones, when Triple H was running NXT. And as you see in the gameplay, you can break those barricades. So when they do update the arenas, which is something that I'm really hoping that they do, it does make you question whether or not they're gonna update them to kind of what you see right now in this 2K gameplay footage, because what you see right now is what the AEW barricades look like by their fans. So you can still make those breakable, but it's just, I'm wondering how they're gonna do that, just the way that it looks structured and put into the game. It's gonna be interesting. So you have that, and then you have to change the entrances, because the two tunnel entrance isn't a thing for Dynamite and Rampage and stuff anymore. So you've got that whole thing. Everything has been so updated with AEW, but the game is so outdated. And it's well, when you hear the developers continue to say, oh, the game's not done, we're still working on it, I think a lot of people, not just myself, but a lot of people were kind of thinking oh, that means they're just, they're going to update stuff. And once they started showing gameplay and we see the same AEW Dynamite arena, it's kind of kind of disappointing. So, I mean, because I do love accuracy like that, man. I'm a stickler for accuracy. And I don't mind playing in that old arena. I'm not even saying that you should get rid of those arenas when you update. Still allow us to choose those older arenas. You know, choice is everything. I've said it in a different video of mine. Choice for a gamer is everything. So you want to give us the choice. So don't get rid of those old arenas, but definitely update and give us the brand new looks to stuff, man. And I'm really hoping that they do that. Really hoping that they do that. So if anything is going to be on a day one patch or, you know, something like that, I do hope that it's the arenas. I would also hope that it's some of the wrestlers' looks. You know, they still got outdated Chris Jericho. They got fat Chris Jericho in there, man. And, you know, Chris Jericho's gotten in shape. And they still got Big Jericho. Ring attire needs to be different for a lot of guys. John Moxley being one of them. John Moxley doesn't wear those pants that he's wearing in the game anymore. So, you know, it's stuff like that. That's just, you know, they definitely got to update. But I would hope that they would have, like, you know, Collision, because it just debuted. It would be nice. It would really be a nice surprise if they did add Collision into the game. I think that would be really, really cool. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that that's pretty much it for right now in terms of updates. Is, you know, updated looks for the wrestlers and updated arenas. I feel like we need that, man. As long as it took for this game to come out, I don't see the excuse of not updating the arenas. Like, I don't know. It's not like updating a new game mode or a new game feature. Again, I don't know the in and outs of video game development, because I know that with games, a lot of the times when you update or add something, it can affect other things, and then you have to go back and rework those other things to make sure they're working properly and make sure they're working the right way. But when I look at arenas, I look at them usually as just like simple cosmetic stuff. So hopefully they can get that done. I know 2K has more resources, but 2K has done a pretty good job in keeping certain things updated. I remember, what was it, last year? I think it was 2K in 2K22 when they updated and gave us, in a patch, they gave us the new, it was like the NXT 2.0 arena, where it looks like a kid just threw a bunch of paint at everything. But they gave us that arena and an update, and it was an early update. It was very early in after that game released that they gave us that. So that's what I'm hoping that they do in AEW, man. I just hope that their priorities are in the right spot when it comes to updating this game. Like game modes, for example. There's only going to be so long that a lot of us can play Road to Elite. Road to Elite has to be good. Road to Elite cannot be a lackluster game mode. It has to be good. That is one of the things that I worry about with this game, is that they released it too bare bones. And I know the gameplay is going to be fun. It's the Aki engine. Like, if you've played the No Mercy, WCW vs. NWO Revenge, the Def Jam Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for New York, if you've played those games, I think you're in for a real treat. I think we're all in for a real treat when it comes to the gameplay. But you do have to have the game modes to back it up. You know what I mean? Not everybody likes to play online. And that's me. I'm not an online guy. You know, it's very rare that I do play an online game. Especially like with fighting games. I don't do it. You know, I usually kind of test it out a little bit in fighting games like Mortal Kombat or something, just for a little bit. But then, you know, you start seeing the people that you're playing picking the same characters. So you're fighting the same characters, but just fighting against different people. So not my cup of tea. That's why, like, for me, a lot of this game is riding on Road to Elite. Now, I think one of the things that they need to update later in the game, and when I say later, I mean like sooner rather than later, is create a pay-per-view / create a show mode. I think that it would very much add more longevity to the game. especially between like updates. You gotta have something else in this game, man. You gotta have something else in AEW Fight Forever. Now, I did look at some details from the guy on Twitter. Whether it's real or fake, he seems legit. He's released images. Everything that he's talking about in the game, he seems like he definitely is like giving out the right information. Apparently, you play through a full calendar year with AEW's Road to Elite. And that's all I'm really going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. There really wasn't much other details other than like you do at least play through a full calendar year, and you play like every week, which is nice because that's actually something that I was wanting to do, is have it be long enough like that. Doesn't seem like it's too short when you look at it like from that standpoint. So if you're going through a full calendar year, I think that's pretty good to go through a full calendar year, if you ask me. I feel like that's a long enough game mode, but I just hope that it's good. I hope that we get a lot of cool cutscenes. I just really hope I'm not disappointed, because that's a mode that I'm really, really excited for, man. And I'm trying not to compare it too much to Road to WrestleMania, but it's hard to because it's hard not to, because it's called Road to Elite, and the same guys that helped make Road to WrestleMania actually worked on the game with AEW. So I'm hoping that they bring some of that flavor. But yeah, man, this is just some of my thoughts on AEW Fight Forever. Some of the things that I want to see implemented into the game with like a day one patch or something, which is new arenas, updated ring attires, and I hope soon after the game we have create a pay-per-view. They were even asked this question when they live streamed very early on with the developer Evil Uno and I forgot the other, Colt Cabana, when they were sitting down at like one of the gaming events and they were playing the Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega match, and a fan, I think they were getting a bunch of people asking, is there creative pay-per-view? Because if it's like No Mercy had creative pay-per-view. So it is disappointing that that's missing from this game. But that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I'm just, doing my uploads, and I'm just getting ready for AEW Fight Forever, man. So yeah, next Wednesday, the 28th, I will see you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in as always. This is Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.